Welcome back, guys. Today we're gonna head off to Cars and Coffee with a paddleboard on my roof. I thought I might as well try it since we didn't get to shoot photos. It looks alright today. There's a little bit of cloud, but it doesn't look like it's going to storm. So I'll see you guys at the Future of Prosex Cars and Coffee. I wonder if I'm going to be able to see traffic lights with this. Good thing they have a traffic light also on the side for vehicles just like me that have something on the roof. So we can see it off of the front, but we can't actually see it off of the back. So that is pretty good, but as you guys know already from yesterday's video, it covers pretty much the whole car, so we'll see how it performs. It's gonna be like a giant windbreak, so I won't be doing very fast. So we made it to the Cars and Coffee, and Adrian's the only one again. I did advertise it this time, so maybe some more people are gonna show up. I know Darwin said he was gonna show up, but I don't know if that's gonna be like an hour from now, because it's already 14 minutes past the start date. But we made it with the paddleboard. The paddleboard actually stayed on perfectly, and I could see traffic lights. I was worried about not being able to see traffic lights, but it's pretty much only in the way of the tint strip. So if you look on Adrian's car, you wouldn't even see it with the tint strip actually, or with the wrap on it, because it only goes that far, so you're perfectly fine. And as always, when we're trying to make a video, it is cold, windy, and raining, so hopefully this rain subsides till the end of Cars and Coffee, because it'd be kind of nice to not have rain. Nice spot about this location where we have our Cars and Coffee is it's right by the water, and there's a Tim Hortons, a Canadian staple, just right up there. Or it was a Canadian staple, they're kind of falling through now. So guess what? It's starting to rain again. I literally swear every time I try to make a video for you guys, it starts to rain. So we're gonna head out from the Cars and Coffee. We had one other person beside Adrian, so it definitely was, I would almost call it a failure. But we'll be back, I guess, sooner than later. But a lot of people didn't come just because the weather, it's only 20 degrees, that is definitely wrong. It's like maybe 15 if that, and it's rainy and windy, so it's not really a good car meet day. But we had a couple of people come and we talked about cars and, you know, the usual same old Cars and Coffee stuff. But anyways, now we're going to go head back. We're gonna fix Adrian's headlights, because when he painted the interior or the trim piece of it, when he split it open, he actually put the lenses on some rocks and ended up scraping them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up fixing them like we did on the STI and the Forester. So we'll be probably doing that, and hopefully if the weather gets better, I'll be able to shoot some photos with this paddleboard on the roof. One Subaru, two Subaru in the garage. Anyways, today we're gonna be fixing Adrian's headlights, as I said. So yeah, they're a little bit messed up. So we're gonna be using the same process as we did on the Forester and on Project Daily. So we're gonna be wet sanding it with 1000 and 2000 grit, and then using some plastic polish and the polishing pad. So we're probably just gonna hit it with the sandpaper first. I just gotta make some quick detailer, and I thought I might as well show you what my dilution ratio is, because this stuff works like magic. So we're using some no wash and shine. You can get this with wax too, and I'll probably be picking up a bottle to test it out, but this stuff works magically. So my dilution ratio is 2 caps of this stuff in 16 ounces of water. You can use distilled water, and I recommend it. I don't use distilled water because I don't have it right now, but it is recommended because it just improves the product so much. There we go, we got a quick detailer all ready to go. So as I said, you need to keep the headlight lubricated so you don't mess it up and you are only fixing it and not damaging it. This is the before shot of the headlight. We got it all taped up. Adrian's been sanding it down now with 1000 grit, and look at how smooth it is. His headlights aren't that bad compared to the one I was working on Project Daily, so it looks pretty good. See that it's all a constant haze, and that's exactly what you want. Little stuff like right here is like a rock chip where it's just a little bit of a different color. That's a chip, and that means that it's not completely flush yet. So if you want it, you can sand those down, but it feels extremely smooth. This is really good compared to the one I was working on Project Daily. And then this is it with the 2000 grit sandpaper for about 5 minutes of sanding. So it's almost ready just to be polished now. Now that this headlight is fully sanded down from 1000 to 2000, you could even take it up and go 3000 if you wanted to, but it actually works pretty well just polishing it after this. So the usual, we'll be using some Plastic X polish and just using the polishing pad on the dual action polisher. And I'll probably be doing like a speed 3 or 4 probably to get it nice and shiny. And then I'll probably put some sealant on it or something. Okay, so I'm gonna hit it again with a little bit more polish just to get some of the imperfections out, and then I think it should be perfect. Boom, and just like that, look how shiny that headlight is. You can actually see where Adrian took the trim and painted it black when he opened it up. There is some little imperfections, and that's what you do notice once you clean it like this, but honestly, if you didn't know where the imperfections were, you'd think it's pretty much perfect. That one headlight is done. I have Adrian putting on some Power Lock Plus, the same stuff that we use to seal the car and seal the Forester and STI headlights. So it's like it's a synthetic sealant, and it's similar to a wax almost, but it's just a little bit different. I wish I could tell you the difference, but I really don't know. So now I'm gonna take and polish this headlight. I've got my technique down for this headlight, so I think we should be able to do it in couple minutes. So there's the headlight now. There we go. So we have had it all polished. It's now pretty much perfect, and there's some sealant on it. That sealant's got to sit for a bit, and then we can take it off. But huge improvement on the car. It looks so much better. The blacked out piece on the headlights really makes those headlights go really well with the black car, and I think it looks super aggressive like that. It's not as aggressive with my car just because blue and black, but maybe we'll do something crazy with those headlights one day. We'll have to see. Since we have the polisher out, I thought I might as well try to fix Adrian's hood. So as you can see, you can definitely see this in camera, is all those swirls. So we did do a little bit of a polish kind of when we first brought the car in the winter. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take my heavy cutting disc, we're gonna take some really hard compound, and we're gonna see if we can get some of these swirls out. I just want to see how well it works, and if it does work, I'll probably end up doing his whole car, but this is just more like an experiment than anything else. So I'll be using the really heavy cutting disc. I think it's the yellow one, I just gotta check on that, and then using the Meguiar's 105 pretty much heavy cut disc, or heavy cut compound, not the disc, but we will be using a heavy disc. On the polisher, probably a pretty high speed, and we'll just do a couple passes and see how that works. If that works, maybe someday we'll actually end up doing this whole car. We'll see. So that was a super quick pass, but let's see how it did. Whoa. It took out every swirl there is. That is magical stuff. Look at that. Hey guys, what's up? That is so this is what we're looking at. This is the heavy cut pad with the extremely aggressive compound, and that is a hood. Look at the difference. That is amazing. So that was literally probably 30 seconds. So you wouldn't want to do it for too long because you definitely could burn the paint, but just for a quick little pass, that is amazing. There's not a scratch in there. There's a lot of imperfections, but you could probably polish a lot of those out. Holy. I'm just outstanded by how well that worked. Because that polish was just absolutely amazing and blew our minds, we're gonna just do the whole hood, because look at that patch compared to the rest of the hood. So we're gonna actually do just the whole hood. But honestly, that was maybe 30 seconds, if that. I did my pass across and I did my pass down, and that was it. So that stuff is super aggressive and you want to be super careful, but just a super quick pass, that is actually magical. I am so amazed right now. So that is what the Forester is going to be getting very soon. Once I grab some touch-up paint, we'll probably be doing the Forester, because just think of how good the Forester is going to look like that. Just like that, the hood is done. So we eventually just hit it with some quick detailer to get the polish off, and that's about it. So the paint is raw pretty much. There's nothing protecting it. So it is gonna get some swirls, but we were just pretty much testing out and seeing how well it worked. If you look, there's some imperfections. There's some little scratches here or there, and there's a little bit of what I've heard it called hologramming. So it's like this little blue line right here coming from the light. That is just because we use such an aggressive compound. So what you would do after that is just hit it with your polish, your much lighter polish, and your fine polishing disc, and that removes those. There is also some chips, as you can probably tell. They get filled in with the polish and then it makes it really easy to spot. But I think Adrian is eventually going to end up doing something with the hood. Also, there's these little speckles, which I have no idea, and I'm just guessing it's like sap or something that degrades the clear coat, or maybe it's just rock chips, but it seems to go throughout pretty evenly across the hood, so I'm assuming it's something like sap. Adrian also just took a little bit of armor rolled like the cowl here, and the mirrors. He also armor rolled this part. This is a pain, especially when we clay barred it. It actually like took more than pretty much the whole car. I don't know why. It's maybe because the paint's like this weird texture, but when he armor rolled it, it did like a wood grain texture pretty much, so he just had to wipe it off. Also, what we were doing before that, the headlights, those are all done. We took off the sealant and they are extremely shiny. Check that out, it's awesome. It looks so good, but the hood and the headlights look awesome, and then the rest is the same old car. It needs to be worked on, but it's still a Subaru. Here's a good comparison. There's the hood, and there's the bumper, so it's like super hazy and foggy, and that was what the hood was like before. The black paint looks amazing. As I said, this car actually inspired me to get the black Forester just because the black paint on Subarus are amazing, and it is pretty much a mirror. There's Adrian again. Look at that hood, holy. It's so shiny! And then there's the headlights. That looks so aggressive. It's so good. So it's been like 3 or 4 hours and it is still raining. So Adrian left and the car looks so good on daylight. It is amazing. I can't wait to actually do a full paint correction on that because the black is just so good. Anyways, as I said, it's still raining as per usual in Alberta. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit yesterday's video that is gonna be way later than 2:30. Usually I do my releases around 2:30. It's gonna be like a 7 o'clock release. I'm sorry, we've been working on cars pretty much the whole day, so you guys can get a video today. But anyways, I'm gonna edit that, and then hopefully this rain will kind of dissipate and we should be good enough to go take some pictures. At least I hope so. It's been a couple hours since I last seen you guys, and as you probably have guessed, we didn't get to shoot photos because it rained pretty much till dark, and then the roads were wet and it just ended up being too cold to shoot. I think it was only like 13 degrees or something, and that is in Celsius. But I've been doing some work on a cool project that I thought you guys might enjoy, and has something to do with Project Daily. So here you guys go. So essentially I'm redoing a couple things with some Instagram stuff, and I've been tracing out my car in a program called Adobe Illustrator. So this is the car shot I'm using. It's one I shot last September, and I've been tracing just all the body lines. This is a rough trace. I'll go in eventually and fill in everything with color and do a little bit of shadings, but this is just a rough trace right now. And check this out. So this is what the image looks like, right? Now let's take off the car layer. There we go, we have it traced out. So it's pretty detailed. I spent a lot of time doing the Brembos here actually. If we take a closer look at the Brembos, you can see that I actually took a reference image and then traced it out, and then I just shrinked it down to size. So I will be using color and fill to do the rims, and then these rims will actually cover up the mounting hardware that I have there. But that is just a really cool project that I've been working on. As you can see, everything needs shading still. It's just the basic line shape, because once I got the basic line shape, then I can actually go ahead and clean it all up pretty much. But that is a project so far. It's taken me a couple hours to do this. It'll probably take a couple hours to do the rest of the lines, and then a couple hours shading. But you guys will definitely see this. I'm not sure exactly what the final product will be used for, besides my icons, but I might do a print if anyone's interested or something like that. But unfortunately, no photos again, but I did get to work on this, and I'm quite enjoying that project. Anyways, until tomorrow, peace out, and stay humble.